Hello, brothers and sisters. I'm like that dog. Welcome to my page. I'm just relaxing here with one of my wives in Sierra Leone. Still in Sierra Leone, by the way. And hello, brothers and sisters. I'm like that dog. Welcome to my page. My page about common sense, but I try to keep it down and then the nitty gritty under 10 minutes. If it goes over 10 minutes, that means it's something very, very, very important. And not important to liberals, libertards, people who believe in God, people like to smoke, people that drink, people like ayahuasca, people like DMT. If you love escapism, you love validation, you just fit in way by, you should not watch my videos. I'm eccentric in my own fucking way. Please get the hell out of here. My videos are not for the majority of masses of asses. You're not mature enough. Just skedaddle. Get out of here. Now, if you have any comments, questions, insults, or even roast fish, you put that shit down below. I'll screen it. If it's a cool ass roast or whatever, right, I'll put it down. But right now, all my comments is monitored and screened. I have to be careful of certain things I say because they will be taken out of context because of the algorithm and the robots. I'm always on the shadow ban list. I do not care. That's what I want to be. Okay? If you're very ambitious, you should not watch my videos. If you're a person who is worldly, religious, okay, in a liberal sense, very far left-brained, emotional, you're too emotional. You need to get out of here. All right, okay, so I've been talking for like about 1 minute and 34 minutes, okay? Now, I am 80% logical and 20% emotional. Most of my emotions is for animals and then for children, okay? All right? Okay, so we understand who I am, okay? But if you read my description down below, you'll know who I am to get the gist of it. Nobody's like no one, okay? No one is equal. All right, so now let's get on with the topic for the day. Today's topic will be about why we do not remember where we came from. Why we do not remember. Now, I'm going to mix and match some things together so we can get an understanding through common sense. Don't fight me. I hope that's not a tsetse fly. Yeah, you got to watch out for tsetse flies. Tsetse flies can land on you and you can't feel them, and then you get that terrible ass disease and you die, sleeping sickness. But anyway, please understand this one thing. When you're born, you do not know your mother, even though you might have some strong physical features of your mother, but your personality may be different from your mother. Please understand that just because you think we have a soul doesn't mean we have a soul. Okay, everything is theoretical, peoples. Unless you want to talk scientifically. Even if you're thinking scientifically, you have to do the research yourself anecdotally. So whatever you see on the internet doesn't make it a fact. Okay? I believe in the theory of hypnosis. Okay, what you call it? When the world revolves around you. I believe in that. I believe strongly that what you see and visualize is just a projection of the Matrix. Like if you watch the movie The Matrix, okay? All right, we can't have supernatural powers because of the fact that people like to destroy shit. People are not normal. They want to overcome things with evil instead of good, because people in this world are very territorial. But let me get on with the subject. The subject is that why we forgot this. Think hypothetically here. We ain't talking about no facts here, right? Let's say you came here into this world. You don't really know who your mother or your father is because you didn't see yourself physically being born from your mother, right? So you came here because you came from an energetic side, right? Okay, let's follow me here. And then you wanted to take physical form. When you take physical form, you are taking on a lot of responsibility to contain that physical form, right? And so if you knew where you came from, you probably would be a very evil person. If you knew, because you will have no point. You won't have to worry about karma or anything. So this is the reason why maybe the Archeons, if you want to look up Archeon, removed our memories. Okay, to me, when I see sheep, okay, walking around in religion, okay, believing in Jesus or Mary or Allah, they just want to come back here because they have went so low to not think of themselves as God that they're going to be regurgitated back into the system or back into the Matrix because they crave the physical aspect of the world. They believe that when they go through the tunnel of light, they're going to see their dead father or their relatives. But they don't understand that you'll be living many different lives. They don't know that. They don't know that, people. They don't know anything about reincarnation. Well, even though when Jesus, even the fictional Jesus, said that we will be reborn because he was reborn. Okay, like I said before, I quote the scriptures because of the fact that a lot of people take it out of context. There are many missing books in the Bible, but people don't want to look for those things. And then they'll try to make an excuse saying it's the Bible or the Word of God, and it's not, because the Word of God is coming from your own mouth. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, it actually says that, and let us create man in our image. Who is us? It says that, but people would just ignore that. They would, oh, we're talking about the Trinity. No, let us. That's man making God, the Word God, which is actually good. You just take out one of the O. In our image. But you don't have to believe in what I'm saying here. So let's say you had your memory and you knew who you came from. You will probably be chaotic as hell because you know this is a gaming world. You don't give a fuck. You just don't give a fuck. And that's why there's people who don't give a crap's rat's ass. They see the suffering that's going on in the world, or maybe they're ignoring it because they know where they came from. This is the Matrix, guys. There is no karma here. There is no karma. It's just people coming together and realizing who's suffering and who, the haves and the have-nots. If the people who don't have shit, if more people have no shit, then that more people will attack the tyrants. They will automatically attack the tyrants because those tyrants are the ones who know why we're here. You're being controlled. Okay? You are being controlled. Majority of people are the majority of people. You and me are majority of the people. Okay? There's some people who don't want to be on the grid, and you have the freedom to move. Okay? Like if you're living in a European country where everything is on the grid, you have the capability of leaving. You just chose to stay there. You chose to suffer. Okay? You didn't want to look outside the box. So that's the real reason why we may have lost our memories here. Think about it. You knew that you came from energy vortices from nothing. You knew that. Right? We are just a figment of an imaginary being within another imaginary being in another time, dimension, and space, right? So common sense would say, hey, I don't need to use big words. I'm just using layman's terms to understand that when you're here for the experience only, just a temporary experience. You're not here forever. If you do happen to find that fountain of youth to live forever, and you found an elixir, okay, then tell me about it, okay? I wouldn't mind living 200 years or 400 years if I'm living good. And then I'm trying to improvise myself so I can help others. That would be great too. But most people aren't like that, okay? Most people are living their everyday lives, loving this physical, fleshly meat bags, these vessels, these retainers, okay? All right? People like to be in this world. They want, like in the Matrix. What did that guy say? The betrayer in the Matrix. He was like, I just want to go back to the Matrix, right? And that's why you're here, for the experience. You don't have to believe in any gods. Because trust me, if you read the older texts, the older religions, you'll find out those gods and humans did not get along well. Gods and humans do not get along because we're not the same. And when the gods give you the answer on how you can become a god coming back to this world, you want to be like them. You can't be the humans at one time in the Indian text, the Hinduism, okay, Indian text, the Mahabharata, the Saras said that, hey, we want to be like you, and the humans got mad and said, you can't do that, man. That takes work and dedication to take on that physical form as a god coming into this dimension, this matrix, right? So if you had your memory, you would not be very useful. You would just be causing possibly some chaos, okay? And they don't want that. So that's why when you came into the womb, you are 1 in a million. You are 1 in a million. That means that all of the spermatozoids, you know about science, right? You know how you got here in the egg. One egg hits that goddamn, that one spermatozoid hitting that egg, all the others die. And there's a hidden light behind it. I was like, yo, how does the other know? Because it gives off a signal to the other spermatozoids to die off. Isn't that crazy shit? Look that shit up. All right? And I'm like, yo, so how does the other sperms know not to keep trying to burrow into the egg? Because it sends off a signal that I'm here. Okay? And you came here against millions of other spermatozoids. And so that's all I really want to say, the reason why. If you want to believe it's the Archeons, you want to believe it's the demons, so be it. All right? It's all hypothetical. If you just have too much, having too much knowledge is not a good thing unless you're benefiting humanity as a whole, and you can't be touched because you can't be telling people about all this knowledge and then somebody's not coming after you, because there's other races here who are in human form and they can get you, they can eat you. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. You got to be very careful, man. You have no protection. God is not here to protect you, okay? And I keep telling people all the time, there's lots of people praying and praying and praying, and they die. Children die every day. Animals are eating each other. There's predators out there. I look on the street. If God exists, okay, y'all would fear him, and then things will get done. Things will be done. Things will be fixed up. But other than that, that's all I really got to say about the God theory, the God delusion, and everything else in religion. And while we don't know anything, we are born in ignorance. So we're innocent like children, okay? If you watch enough episodes of the Black Mirror, okay, you will understand this too. If you watch the movie The Matrix, you'll understand that too. But you probably didn't watch those things. And your comprehension skills is completely off. You're like, what if? You can't think of what if because you just believe in fucking Jesus or Allah. You can't do that. Okay? We all are gods. And if you can't understand and fathom that simple common sense terminology and what I just said, you're just going to be regurgitated back in the system. It's okay. It's going to be okay. You're going to keep being put in your next life, just like what the Hindus believe. Okay? The Hindus believe in reincarnation, the Buddha. Okay, and what happens is that when you're born here again, you might be a woman in your next life, or you might go back in time in another dimension, and you might be a white master one time, or you might go back in time and you might be a black person living in Sierra Leone somewhere. So you can understand how this world works. The only way to come to conclusions of the way I think, okay, is through a lot of suffering. Yeah, you have to suffer. Because when you start praying to God when you're young, right, he should come to your aid immediately, right? And common sense would say, hey, there is no God because you have suffered for years. God is not going to, I don't give a fuck what you may think about character representation, okay? Character build-up, okay? It's just really cruel to go through that suffering and pain, okay? And thinking that you were created by a God who wants you to suffer so you can have some sort of character build-up, character profile, okay? Or character representation of yourself to be a better person overall. That's what this world is about. You're supposed to go through suffering. You're supposed to go through experiences. I've been through countless relations in my life with people I know to avoid. But I still gave them a chance. But that's why you keep everything virtual now. Everything is virtual. You can't be too close to anybody and understand the core reason why you had lost your memory or you don't have any memory, okay? So don't think too deep of it, okay? Thinking too deep is not good either because you're starting to open your third eye and eventually your fourth eye, okay? Because I'm the only one on the internet talking about your fourth eye, okay? But anyway, that's all I really want to say about your memory and where you came from. Where did you come from? Just think about it. You came from nothing. Think about it like that. You came from nothing. I know that kind of hard to fathom, but we are just a figment of a thought. We are in the energy matrix. Okay, we all come from the void. Okay, all right. But other than that, so shall we have come, we shall return. And if you want to come back, you can, because we're just one part of the God particle of all things. We are each and every spectacle on these walls. We are every little atom. Okay? But other than that, I've been talking for like about 14 minutes. And look at this. Out here, when you think it's 90 degrees, it is actually 110 degrees. It's usually 15 degrees or 10 degrees higher than what it is. Look at that humidity up there. And there's people who live up there too, man. Look at that. These houses will never be finished, okay? A lot of these houses are from the very wealthy, well off. These houses will be sitting there for years. For every time I come here to see the development, the only thing I see improved is a little bit of the road here. It was very bumpy. And I'm near the beach. The beach area is over that way, okay? But I took an Airbnb out here, guys. So it's not easy to come out here. You need a steady income. Or you need a vacation. You cannot be a slave And you can't, your job only respects you if they rehire you and you need a vacation every year. Everyone needs a vacation. You might have 2 days off or whatever, and that can build up. Yeah. But you got to plan that. You gotta basically say, hey, you know, tell your boss, your manager, I'm gonna quit here and I'll come right back. Quit here and come back. Tell your manager, and if they respect you, they'll rehire you. Okay, it's not like you're just quitting out of the blue, because everybody needs a vacation, and that's another subject for another day. You can talk about it. Please, guys, get your vacation time. Save up your money, travel somewhere, and how and why you need to travel anyway. Okay, you guys staying in the goddamn house all the time. You're getting unhealthy. You're thinking about Jesus too much. Okay, and that's not going to help your life. Yeah, out here you need a vehicle, four-wheel drive, people. Yeah, my money's out here. I had daughters, and then they decided to want to disobey me. Anything that disobeys me is kind of broken, so I have to get rid of it. But other than that, I love you all, but I despise many of you, and I hope you understand my point here. I'm about to get on to the airport. This is my last day here, and I'm not your average man. I'm not your data pan. And I'm gonna post all these videos when I get back home, because it takes up too much data on their servers out here. Their internet is not strong. They're working on 3G to 4G. It toggles. That's almost anywhere, unless you go to Nigeria, because it's a little faster out there. But the more you pay, the more you will get more quality service. Okay, just get the best service you can find. Okay, and do some research. It's very important. A lot of people don't like research. When I tell people there's older religions than Christianity, they don't like to do no research. When I tell them about the facts and common sense, they don't care about that shit. Please, don't be an NPC. Don't be like everybody else. Okay, don't be too emotional. Be more logical and have a personality too. Okay, you know, you want to have a personality. You don't want to care what people think too much. Okay, but other than say, hey, okay, y'all have a nice day.